Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you didn't know, my name is Eman, or Dancing in Circles, and I make pole, aerial hoop, and Lollipop Lyra tutorials on this channel. So I'd like to start a little series on the Lollipop Lyra where we work specifically on rolls. In this one we're going to be working on our around the world on the Lollipop Lyra. So I know a lot of people think that the lolly is a very static apparatus because we've got this pole down the center of it. I know a lot of traditional Lyra rolls don't necessarily work on the Lollipop Lyra, but I'd like to break that misconception and start working on some more dynamic tricks inside of the hoop. This is going to be an intermediate series, so not for the very beginner, but they will all be doable, I promise. If you find this video useful, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Drop a comment if you have any requests. I'm generally pretty responsive. You can also find me on other social media platforms. I will list them over here. And feel free to send me a message if you have any requests for future videos. And without further ado, let's get into it. So for this roll, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of conditioning to do at the bottom. If you're a poler, you're probably going to have the grip for this. If you're more of a hooper, I want you to learn the grip for this roll from underneath the hoop. So what we're going to do to start is I'm going to use my forearm grip. So I'm standing behind the hoop, but off to one side. So the arm that is closest to the pole, I'm going to refer to as my inside arm. My inside arm is going to grab the pole, wrist to one side, elbow to the opposite side, and I'm going to push into my forearm. So I want as much as my forearm as possible to be on the pole. From here, I'm going to reach up with my top hand, underhand grip, just above my forehead onto the hoop. And then what I want you to do is we're going to do some opposing grips. So I'm going to push into the forearm and pull into the top arm to tuck my knees up into my chest and then lower back down. That's all I want you to do for now. So from here, I'm going to push and pull into the top arm, and then we're going to lift, tuck the knees into the chest, and lower back down. Tuck and lower. So now this grip is a super essential skill for the thing that we're going to do inside of the hoop, which is going to be our around the world roll, because we're going to use that forearm grip inside of the hoop. So I want you to make sure that you've got that grip and you can lift your legs, and you got that opposing, pushing and pulling like stuck in your brain. If you're a poler, for sure you will have it. If you're primarily a hooper, you're probably used to only pulling or only pushing and not using both grips at the same time. So I want you to get that in your brain before we get up inside of the hoop. Okay, so now that we've done our little exercise at the bottom, we're going to bring this roll inside of the hoop. So from here, I'm gonna start in my stag seat. I'm gonna make sure that my hips are super hiked and are really exaggerated, and I've got the bottom bar right in between my butt cheeks. So right now I'm facing the left side of my hoop. My left leg is bent and it's pointing in that direction. That's kind of like my outside leg. From here, I'm going to take same arm as the leg that is closest to the side bar, and that's going to be my inside arm, so that's gonna be my forearm grip. So the same forearm grip that I just did at the bottom, I'm gonna go wrist to one side, elbow to the opposite side, so I can push into the forearm here. So I want you to get this kind of right at 9 o'clock, so right at eye level. From here, we're gonna be able to push into the side of the hoop. Now I'm gonna take my opposite arm, my outside arm, and I'm gonna underhand grip, almost like a little bit, so my hands aren't stacked. It's gonna be a little bit higher, just above my forehead. From here, if I'm going in this direction, I'm gonna go around. I find the easiest way to do this roll is to land in your half hip hang, so to only aim to get one leg inside of the hoop. So I'm gonna aim to get this outside leg here inside of the hoop. So if I'm going to the left, my left leg is gonna go back in the hoop. If I'm going to the right, my right leg is going to go back inside of the hoop, if that makes sense. So same leg as your forearm grip. So from here, what I'm gonna do, underhand grip and forearm grip. So I'm pushing into the side of the bar, and I'm pulling into that top arm. From here, we're gonna straddle wide, and we're gonna go around the outside of this side bar. And then I'm just gonna aim to get this one leg inside of the hoop. I'm gonna aim to stay super tight, so I want you to be like really crunched around the hoop. So I want you to like really, really keep it like super, super tight so that you stay in your little hip pocket and you land right back in your hip. So from here, underhand, pulling with the top arm, pushing with that bottom arm. From here, I'm gonna shoot this leg through. This leg is going to go to the outside of my top arm. So it's gonna be resting on the top of my tricep. And basically all we're doing is an invert around the side of the hoop. So I want you to kind of think about tucking and then tipping back. So from here, we're gonna go push, pull. I'm gonna shoot this leg. I'm gonna stay super close to the hoop. Keep it in the hip. And see how this leg landed to the outside of that top arm? And we're tipping back into a straddle. From here to get out, I can take this outside leg, bring it back in, and we'll come into a hip hang. And then from here, we'll reach around, tuck the knees in, and pull out. And there is your around the world.